Oh dear. Um, Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We seem to be having some music issues. Remember when I said that this isn't a Legion stream without some sort of issue, technical difficulty? Yeah. Well, let's add music issues to that issue. Alrighty. Well, let's just get straight onto this. I wasn't expecting to start. Maybe the other song will, or the background music will at least work, hopefully. Apologies for that just abrupt start. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Airlock Podcast. I am your host, Captain LegionX, commander of Thunder Squadron in the Emperor's Hammer TIE Corps. Usually it's a better start, but for some reason the music, the background music, the intro music, works, and it just decided we're only gonna play a certain few seconds and just stop. It's like, okay. Like I said, would it be a Legion stream without some sort of technical difficulty? Anyway, today we have Colonel Genie of Lambda joining us this evening. But before we get into that, just want to let everybody know, for those of you who are watching, either live or through our podcast channel, or through the not the podcast channel, our Emperor's Hammer YouTube. It has not been made official just yet, but I can say right off the bat that I am in the process of making an official podcast team for the Emperor's Hammer. In the process, it's not official yet, and I'm going to start quote unquote interviewing for co-hosts, moderators for the live channel, and what eventually will be the podcast studio, what is my old Discord server. Might as well just convert that to the quote unquote podcast studio. But either way, let's just get right into it. Here we go, and let's welcome aboard Colonel Genie. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, Legion. How are you doing, man? I'm glad to be here.
Hey, welcome. So, first off, once again, Lieutenant Newt's art, right on the money, amazing. And what is that you're drinking?
that, that one, it's Zucchila.
Zucchila, yeah, from the Hammer.
Yeah, it's kind of you can think of it as a zucchini meets tequila kind of a drink, let's say, something like that.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm also just looking at the live chat. Apparently my microphone is too low. I thought I had adjusted that. I'll go ahead and fix that. Thank you, One Thick Wookie. Am I to assume that's dem Wookie cheeks? I'm pretty sure that's dem Wookie cheeks. How you doing, sir? Yeah, so I am loving this art 100%. Now I have to ask though, because I did read your IMPR. You look like Chiss, but your IAPR says unknown. Are you willing to diverge your species, or is it still gonna just be an unknown at this time?
Okay, so I think you get to where I'm alluding with that, right?
Yeah.
I'm blue, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a certain color, let's say, and there's only one race that in Star Wars that is, at least that I know of, that is blue. So,
well,
as far as people are concerned, I'm cheese,
Yeah.
On their own.
Well, I know that there's several that are actually blue skin, but it's the red eyes that also kind of give it away as to what exactly. But hey, we'll keep it as unknown. We'll keep it as the Genie species, because Yoda and Grogu still have that. But all right. So right off the bat, before we get into the other questions I have, you just finished your both of your Tequila Cup matches against I'm sorry, what was the team? The Emperor's Pocket Knife?
The Emperor's Pocket Knife. That's Delta Squadron.
Yeah, Delta Squadrons, and you won both of your matches tonight.
We did. We did, but the first game they gave us a very good run for our money. That was a very touch and go game. The first one.
All right, all right. I was gonna say how, the first one was touch and go. How was the second match?
Yeah, the second one we pulled the Wookiee on them. What do I mean by that?
Yeah, I want to know. That's a new one.
So, yeah, what we did was, is like, okay, we typically play on Yavin, but we were like, okay, we played so many games on Yavin, let's play on a different map. So we just went with whichever map came to mind first in Wookiee's mind, we went with that one, which happened to be the Abyss. So
The Xavier Abyss.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
not usually the first pick. At least,
No.
yeah, not at least for well, maybe for fleet battles. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I was gonna say I have taken a look at that chart that we have that we can see in the Chiquila Cup, but I'm noticing a pattern with the choice of maps as of late. It's like, yeah, we need a little bit more diversity in there, but it is in the rules that we can just say Yavin.
Yeah, well, the um, it's early enough in the tournament to even suggest something to people who are listening. You can easily practice a map that nobody's playing, and make that your home map. That's the idea behind it. As in, if everybody's playing Yavin, then you don't really gain any home advantage on the map, but you do gain the faction home pick, let's say, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Which seems to be the common strategy here for the majority of the teams.
Yeah, I mean, faction-wise, everybody's picking Imperial so far. 100% home pick is Imperial so far. And maybe,
Yeah, I was about to ask. It's like, do you think it's anything to do with just the simple use of the shunting power that the Imperials have?
it's the TIE Bomber. The TIE Bomber is, if you think about it, well, first of all, is the TIE Bomber, but even as a second choice for some pilots, the TIE Defender might be a good second choice tactically as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I would I would share some of my thoughts here, which may affect people, but as in, it might work against us what I'm about to say, but people can even pick ions on the Imperial side because it gives you a lot of shields to shoot at. You can shoot at shields of the fighters and of course the shields of the frigates and the raider and so on.
Right.
So there's a lot of. I think there are more tactical options on the Imperial side than on the New Republic.
Okay. So, who's going to be your next team that you're going to be going against since you've just finished against Delta's team? Who's next on the line for y'all?
I think we're playing the Jolly Rogers.
Right. And remind me who's on that team because I don't have that list on me. Do you know off the top of your head? Or...
I happen to have I had the Chakila Excel open. So give me a second. It's basic as you can understand from the name. It's the Rogue Squadron.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't know who was captaining that team.
Yeah, they got quite a nice lineup actually. Frozen is, I think Vapin is the captain.
Okay.
And they've got Kevin Backroom, Fameplane, Jarion Reynolds, Osus Plays, and Frozen. So they've got a good lineup.
Okay.
So strong.
All right. Good. You think I was gonna say, you think you're ready for that one, or do you feel like that one's gonna be a bit of a challenge?
Well, we take every game. We're not underestimating anyone. And if you look at the teams, every team has a decent roster. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely we're taking them seriously. Frozen is exceptional on objectives with his Y-wing and his bomber. Fameplane is murder support.
Yeah,
Kevin.
murder.
Yeah. I know people don't know Kevin so much, but he's a very good dogfighter. So, and Vapin is also quite a good dogfighter. And I don't know his play in fleet battles, but I know he's a decent player as well. Jarion, I don't remember Jarion how good or not he is. But okay, part of the lineup and Nosus, of course.
Hmm.
they've got a decent team, man. I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah, even with the Delta team, the Emperor's Pocket Knife, we just didn't let the Ranger breathe and Sparkles, and Highlander coming in with some surprise configuration as well. But we just didn't let them breathe too much, That's how we managed to get them through.
Okay, all right. So let's rewind here a little bit because I'm now interested how you started NEH. What brought you to the Emperor's Hammer?
Okay, so I know that people have the impression I've been around a long time, but I haven't been around that long, actually. I've been around maybe, I think it's been 2.5 years, maybe
Yeah,
3,
yeah.
something like
I
that.
was just actually looking at your record earlier, and yeah, it was just 2 years or just over 2 years. I'm like, wow, you did a lot in just over 2 years.
Yeah. So, but I know that people have the impression I've been around for 20 years instead of 2, right? Something like so I've been a fan of the games of X-Wing, of TIE Fighter, X-Wing versus TIE, and so on. And those games. I've been a fan of those games like ever since X-Wing came out. Back in 1993, that far back, I think it was. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I put them on I always kept them around. There are some games like those and Master of Orion 2 and a couple of other games that I always kept them around as I moved places, as I moved PCs and so on. So I had them on the shelf, as in, just installed on the computer, but not really playing them for a long time. And then I always remembered that back in the day on TIE Fighter, I used to make custom battles, a long time ago, like 20 years ago. I used to make custom battles. And I started to search on the Steam forums. I'm like, okay, there's bound to be still some people playing it or knowing something about it to be able to find that custom editor, the battle editor. And one thing led to another. I don't exactly remember how I don't remember if it was just a Google search or something like that I found Emperor's Hammer. But basically, I walked into the Discord. By the way, that was the first time I used Discord back then.
Oh,
I
okay.
kind of, yeah, I was avoiding using applications like those in general. I don't. It's funny because I don't like to use them, and now Discord is always running on my computer. It
Yeah.
went from never running it to always running now. So
Always the now like the main source of social media for a lot of people, including myself. I'm the same way. Discord is always running, unless I'm asleep.
yeah, it's I credit to them. It's a very good application for what it does. Okay, and I hope they do not get tempted to fill it up with features. We don't
Right.
need any more features. It
Right.
does exactly what it needs to do. So I found them, I think, on Google search, Emperor's Hammer, that is. Okay, and I found the link to Discord, and then I came in, and the person who walked me through the join process. The join process was a little bit longer than it is now. It was what's her name? I forgot. It's a person who's no longer in Emperor's Hammer. She left a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
But basically, she walked me. Literally, she took me by the hand and walked me through all the process, how to register on the website, and so on and so forth. And it's good that she did that because it, it it made it a lot easier, just to do all of that. And then yeah, so I was literally just looking for people who were doing custom battles or were interested in flying custom battles. And as you know, on our website we have the battle center, right? So I was like, what? 4,000 plus missions? What's going on?
That definitely hooked you on big time. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, so have I, but I do need to get back into it.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? That, well, first of all, that the developers, not the well, the developers, or programmers who made it possible to have these editors,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and the developers for allowing that to happen and not locking the games, as in allowing for such things to happen.
Yeah, I had wished I had found it much sooner than what I did, because I had always had a TIE Fighter, the collector's edition, this entire time. And it's like, yeah, I beat it. Now what do I do with it? Because it was getting boring. Had I known this was an option, I would have been in EH so much sooner.
Exactly, man. And it's the funny bit is that's how I started, but I haven't touched on. I started to make some of these battles, and I was trying to make more and more, and then EH kind of took over, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, let's see. So, did you start right off the bat in Lambda, or what was your first squadron when you first joined?
Okay, so the first squadron was actually Sin.
Okay.
I was with Zek and Random Fighter and a few others. I don't remember everyone in Sin Squadron at that time, because the roster of Sin has changed a lot. Okay, I think I need to even look at it to even check if there's anybody from the original roster when I joined, if he's still in the Sin Squadron. But so I joined I joined in spring, and it was the time when it was the Squadron remobilization.
Oh.
So we started talking about the Sin TIE, and TIE Corps Command agreed that if we were going to do the Squadron remob fully, that we would actually get a TIE Sin, which you can actually still find. I don't think Sin Squadron changed it. I think it's still there.
Oh yeah, no, I have seen it. It's still there.
Yeah, it's a nice one. It's a nice looking TIE fighter there.
Yeah.
Version of a TIE Defender.
Yeah, the fully black with the red glass. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's nice. And I was in Sin for a few months, and then around the time of RTF, so it was around, I think, middle of September, somewhere there. Cliff approached me and said, how would you like to become a commander of a new squadron?
Oh.
And I was like, okay, sure, let's bring it on. And the best part was, okay, here are 3 squadrons, choose which name you want the squadron to be. And of course I went for Lambda, because why not, right?
So you were the one that fully created Lambda from the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think it existed a long time ago, for like a month or something. Okay, a long time ago.
Okay.
It existed for a month, something like that, for a short period.
Right. So then you reactivated it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was an option between Lambda, Gamma, and I think Delta. So
So, when you chose Lambda, I guess you already had the plans of using the Lambda shuttles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. At first, okay, you understand. If you're going, you have to go full way, right? If you're doing something, you go full way with it. Right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So you saw even our squadron insignia; it's embracing the shuttle. Right?
Yeah, which is why I asked. It's like, the Lambda shuttle, your squadron name's Lambda. It's like, I'm seeing a pattern here, and I want to get confirmation. Was this the plan the entire time?
It was, man. It was. But we had to wait for a full year until the next squadron remob. Okay. And we even changed everything that we had to change, as in the squadron's mission and so on, just to justify having Lambda shadows in the squadron.
Oh,
because it had to be something that fits with the mission goal,
Right. Yeah, you can't like Thunder being an assassination squad. It'd be really weird if we had transports as our ships.
Exactly.
So we would still get it done with how we do things in Thunder, but it'd still be weird. yeah, I would think the same thing for your squadron's mission to have, say, TIE defenders or just TIE defenders or just interceptors. It's like, I don't think that's how Lambda is supposed to do. Is supposed to run it that way, but it's like you chose the name, you chose the theme. It's like, yeah, this was right off the bat the goal from the very beginning.
Man, and you know everything. You know sometimes how things come together so well. As in, look at the colors as well. Okay, the colors literally, it started from a thought. Okay, back when I joined, almost all squadrons, their theme was the red. It's natural, you know, the red with Imperial. Okay, and I was thinking, okay, let's try to change colors. Now when you look at squadrons, a lot of squadrons have different variations of colors. Okay, but back then, even though it's only like 2 years ago, almost all squadrons had the red theme mainly. I was like, okay, let's come up with a different set of colors. What colors are nice? And we came up with this. I approached Havantiel back at the time, and he's the one who actually created this squadron badge for us, which is excellent, man. And the banner was created by Koran Shap, which unfortunately at the moment is not. He's still in the roster, but he's not very active. He drops on Discord every now and then. So it kind of all fell into place. And also, I'm not sure if you're aware, but Lambda is mostly made out of non-human, or at least the non-standard human races, let's say, right?
Right, yeah, the humanoid, but not human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This, we've got a Wookiee, we've got a cheese, right? We've got an Ewok, you know, as you know. And,
right, yeah. That's Solohan, isn't it?
Yeah, Solohan.
Yeah.
Man, he embraced it so, you know, he really embraced. Both Wookiee and Solo really embraced their roles as a Wookiee and Ewok, you know.
I keep forgetting Solohan's on Ewok. I have to have like some sort of sticky note or post-it note on some wall to remind me that every time.
Yeah, it's and then, you know, at some point Zai also decided there is this weird mix. He came up with this idea. He was half lizard, half Wookiee, and apparently it exists. We even found an image.
Huh. So like my worst fear, or one of my worst fears of like trying to mix a Trandoshan with a Wookiee. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God. Just thinking about it, it's like a hairy lizard.
Yeah, hairy lizard. Exactly. It's a hairy lizard. That's what it is.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm okay with that.
And we also have a few more, as in Dilshiz, which is now in reserves, but he has been in Lambda for about a year. He's a Devalorian.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He fishes. He's a fisherman that drinks a lot. A Devalorian. Yeah.
So for those of you watching the show or watching it live, a Devalorian, you've all seen them all the way back since the original trilogy. The one with the two horns that pretty much look like a devil. Just like a demon, like a guy with two horns sticking out. Those are what the Devalorians are. For those of you wondering, it's like I don't know what that race is. That's what that one is. So yeah, you got Devalorian on. I wish I had the time to actually go through everybody's IMPR, but I didn't.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. Of course, I was about to say I was trying to find the other race. There is one more, Wolf. Okay, Wolf came back from the reserves. He joined us in Lambda, and you know, yeah. By the way, it's Trandoshans, right? It's a mixture. Zai is half Trandoshan and half.
Oh my God! So he is one of my worst nightmares. A Trandoshan Wookiee hybrid.
Yeah.
Oh Lord! Oh Lord! It's like what the two races I never wanted to come together in that type of holy matrimony. That is interesting. Only not because of the strength or the cultural differences. Just seeing a hairy lizard. That's the one thing that freaks me out. So it's like
I'll show you later his image. There's an image, that we found because he went and found on the internet an
oh my
actual.
god! And is it is just exactly as I'm saying. It's a hairy lizard.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I don't know if I'm
yeah.
prepared to see this.
I'm trying to find wolf's race. It's the one that has a very long neck and eyes on the side. You know which one that is?
The Ithorian. Is it the one?
Yeah,
Yeah, the one
Ithorian.
that looks like a weird hammerhead shark, but
Yeah,
without
something
the
like
teeth.
that.
Yeah, where the mouths
That's
are
a
actually on the side. Yeah. So Ithorians, for those of you who don't know, what an Ithorian looks like on the show or watching through the YouTube channel or live on Twitch, Ithorians, again, you see them since the very beginning. The best example I can provide to you for those of you who watched Book of Boba Fett, the mayor of Mos Espa, the one that Boba had an issue with, yeah, that's an Ithorian. They can't speak through in common English without those devices on the back translating their voice because they speak through a different frequency than the rest of us. But yeah, wow, you have an Ithorian.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
Wolf. Wolf is game on for anything that it's remotely fun. In any form of.
Very
So you
powerful
understand
lugs.
what kind of squadron we are, right?
Yeah, no, Ithorians, very powerful lugs. I will say, very powerful lugs. I just wasn't expecting. It's like wolf. I wonder what type of species he's going for. No, it's an Ithorian. Okay, well that was a curveball. I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking maybe it was some sort of wolf race. Nope.
Yeah, he's the right kind of person to throw curveballs like that for sure.
I'm hoping one day I can get him on the show, and see for myself.
Yeah, man, he's good fun. He's a comedian.
Even better.
Even with just very quick,
Yeah.
for example, Merlin, even though he's human, he refuses to take his helmet off.
Don't tell me Mandalorian, or just doesn't want to take the helmet off.
Yeah, it was inspired. If you see his profile picture, he has that racing helmet. So it became a theme with him that he cannot. He refuses to take the helmet off.
Gotcha. So it's not this is the way. It's just he likes his helmet.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, that's still respectable. It's not like I don't know what that means, Mister. I don't take off my mask.
I was about to say is maybe you can share your story with the. What's up with that?
Well, I was like, I'm actually, you know how I finished the Valkyrie series fiction, a little bit ago. I'm actually now in the process of writing another fiction based off of Legion's childhood, and the whole start of why he has all these freaky powers that you've seen in the fiction, and a little bit more as to the relationship he has with Mandalorians and how he also has a connection with the ISB, the Imperial Security Bureau. So that will come. It's going to be just one big chapter. It's not going to be a multiple chapter like I did with Valkyrie. This one's just going to be one big one. And it's currently only 2 paragraphs in, because as is most of my fiction writing, I have the core of what I want to write for the chapter. I always struggle in finding out how the hell do I start this, because I never find a good way to start the story. I have the middle of the story down. I have the end of the story down. I never know how to start it well. It takes me a couple of days to finally get something good.
It's good that you have already the framework in mind. That definitely is the way to go.
Oh yeah, because realistically, the character Legion, I was using bits and pieces of what I already had for a lot of my characters that I use in Dungeons and Dragons. I there is one character in there that is I literally just called Legion, and I've used his backstory on a lot of like fictions and stories. I'm like, you know what, might as well use it for the Star Wars, and it worked out really well. Maybe a little bit too well at times, but but yeah, that's pretty much how I pretty much created the character of Legion. Is based off of D&D, as is most things.
I'm probably gonna go check your IMDb now. Yes, your
The IMPR. With yeah, I've
your
also I've also had to update that since finishing the Valkyrie series. I was asked to, simply because what I had there before made no sense with what I had in the story. I'm like, fine, I'll go ahead and change it, and I have. So it's fully fixed now. But
it's fully in line. Yeah, with
yeah,
the
but speaking of the stories, because I know I sent you all the chapters, and we're just waiting for the next phase of the new website to go in order to start posting or adding these stories to pilot profiles. Your award of the TC.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, we uh, back when I started, I was an award, but there was I don't remember because it's been a while, but either the award stepped down or was away for a long time or something like that, and there was a need for a new award,
Mm-hmm.
and Striker and myself were interested, and I suggested to Striker instead of why don't we both just become co-awards together, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think it went well. But recently, Striker was very busy with the real life, so I think he made the shortest move to reserves that's ever been in the history of EA.
Yeah, that I've already had a bunch of people put in as a talking point whenever I do get him on the show. Um, he the talking point for him. The first thing is, so how long was that last retirement? Um, couple of days.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it
There is
even a
this funny
week?
meme, that funny meme whereby
Oh
it's from
yeah,
Simpsons.
yeah.
He
The
throws him out
next.
of the bar and he's already back in the bar already. By the time you threw him out,
Oh, I like the other one where it's I forgot the guy's name from Book of Boba Fett, the Twilight, uh, that or the Twi'lek, excuse me, that we use his face now as an emote a lot in the Discord server. It's like it goes, and the next Firebird commander goes to, he looks down, Striker.
yeah, yeah. That's funny. It's so funny. That one is funny. Yeah,
Yeah, I almost fell out of my chair reading that one.
yeah, that one was very funny. Yeah, that one was very.
So, so I remembered because our Grand Admiral asked me to make sure to explain all of the acronyms. For those of you again watching the show, don't know what award is. Award in the TC is a Warden of the Imperial Archives. They are the ones that put, what is it? Pretty much all the fiction, anything print related. Correct.
Correct, correct. And we for fiction and art basically, and any form of it stops short of when it comes to things like newsletters or stuff like that. It's an entirely different thing. But the word is about it's about within let's say. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it's from to so it's all the fiction writing and all the art, and I think it's nice for people to just without any pressure, without not necessarily part of any competitions, even though some of them are sometimes parts of competitions.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you suddenly did the story about the Valkyrie, and quite a few people have been writing recently or even doing sketches, which, by the way, for people listening, um, handwritten, digital, any form of art counts, as in it's fine. whatever people want to make,
Mm-hmm.
and the same with the stories. It's a nice way for people to write an extensive background story about themselves, or about something about what is happening in EH right now, or about their squadrons, or in certain cases about a certain Commodore and his squadron commander.
Oh, wait. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, nobody knows.
No,
Nobody
no,
knows.
no, no, no. It's like as I look at the airlock. That's not remote access, is it? No. So yeah, for those of you who wanted to know what award is, and yeah, apologies, Grand Admiral. I'm trying my best to make sure I explain every single one of these acronyms. I try to make sure they don't escape being talked about. So another thing I was asked, I asked for those that submit talking points and submissions for the for the quote unquote Airlock podcast competition I'm running. Ergo, all the people who wants to submit talking points and every fifth one used, uh, they get. I forgot what the medal I put. Was it a silver ribbon or a copper ribbon?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, it was one of those. But either way, after every fifth medal or fifth submission, a medal is given. And one of the common ones I'm seeing requested, and you even requested this as well, although I'm sure you wanted both you and Mordecai and Silwar in this to talk about as well. Project Sovereign. Is yeah, as I say, is there anything we can talk about Project Sovereign, or do you want to keep that on the down low until we get the other two in?
No, we can definitely talk about it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so what is Project Sovereign?
Top secret. I can't talk about it.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. So Project Squadron, actually, it was, how something is a good idea, a great idea, when several people come up with it at the same time. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So several people within EH, myself included, but several others as well, Silver as well. I'm not sure of everybody who came up with this idea, but basically, at some point it was initiated by Pliff that it was time to try it. Okay, I'm not in. I don't know what eventually triggered the start of the project. Okay, but I'm trying to say that this idea was. I saw it as the brainchild of a number of people. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say, and it's basically an attempt to create for us a currency, as in an EH currency, whereby you can actually buy stuff. When I say buy stuff, I don't mean something outside of EH. It's within EH, things like from food and drinks and whatever to your own starship, or depending. The list is actually ongoing, and we are planning to make it to be as seamless and as fully integrated as possible, meaning ideally, for example, okay, what I'm about to say may not come to fruition, but I'm hoping it will. You might be able to use a command on Discord, and you order a round of drinks for everyone, and you might even get emojis or bot responses in Discord. At the very least, what will happen is eventually, on your own profile, you would be able to buy stuff like, let's say, your own quarters, or the list is limitless. Okay, as in, I urge everyone who wants to think about it. There is an ongoing Project Sovereign spreadsheet with the existing list of stuff, which we put a number of things just to whet people's appetite, but whatever people come up with, we can easily add it as long as it makes at least a little bit of sense. For example, we have Wookiee cookies.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please Please tell me that they're in the form of the Wookiee butt cheeks, that a la them Wookiee cheeks.
Exactly. You see now with that emoji of the Wookiee thick butt, right?
Yeah,
Now we
the thick
can,
cheeks. Yeah.
yeah, we can turn that into the Wookiee cookies, for example, right?
Oh my God. Yes, I would love to see that. You know.
So you see, the idea is that you would have a visual representation. Uh, you will get money from your roles within EH and from your rank within EH and so on. You get a salary, so that
Mm-hmm.
becomes your spending money. Okay, and there will even be some items which will be a little bit exclusive, as in there is an inventory, and for some things like Epsi Cola, for example, or Beta Blaster, or Chakila, those will be quite in big supply, but you never know. We may run out of Chakila at some point.
Heresy.
Uh,
We'll make our
and
own somehow. It's not like we have it in the walls.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I get
and
you.
and maybe for some items on purpose, there might be like only a few of them, or yeah, things that come into mind. If you'll be able to buy your own TIE Defender, there's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be 10,000 TIE Defenders. There might be like 10 TIE Defenders, for example.
Right, right.
So the people who buy it, that's it, or we may eventually convince the command to allow to buy your own cruiser, you know
Oh, yes. I would love that. I would love that idea.
yeah, or your own asteroid, you know
Your own raider. At least a
yeah,
raider.
yeah.
Thun-
So
Thunder would
you
do
see, we
well with
went
a
from
raider.
Wookiee cookies to a raider, and
Yeah.
to an asteroid. So you
Yeah.
understand. A
Thunder
big,
Squadron could definitely use a raider plus our phantoms. We'd be very mobile. Um.
yeah. In Lambda, we're gonna use it just to go for fishing.
Yes. All right. So, all right. And I was gonna say, is it still? I'm sure it's still in the testing phase. So not every squadron is in it, or is it just a matter of, hey, can we test run our squadron in it? Blah blah blah, and you set them up. Is that how it runs? How can we even talk about how a squadron sets their people in it, or not
Yeah,
yet?
sure, man, sure, of course. So we were gonna try, as in we're still far away from the complete package. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of work to be done to have the complete picture of what I described earlier. But we are at the point that we have at least a kind of inventory in the form of a spreadsheet, even though ideally that is going to become part of the EH database,
Mm-hmm.
courtesy of certain people like Turtle,
Mm-hmm. Right.
no, not throwing him under the bus really, but it's
Right.
and basically we waited for the website, we waited for the website to finish, because the next step is to move it into the database to make it part of that.
Mm-hmm.
For the squadrons, initially it was meant to be just to test it out a little bit, just to see what was going on, like a initial pilot. A, it's an alpha test pilot, let's call it, not even alpha, pre-alpha test pilot. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And also just to get a bit of feedback from people, and also to so there was an opt-in option by squadron commanders. Okay, so the squadron commanders back then, this was maybe about a year ago from now, or a few months from, at least 6 months from now, ago, sorry, 6 months ago. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the commanders opted in for their squadrons to become part of the pilot. So it was never planned for the entire fleet to be in it. It's only a number of squadrons. If I remember, the number is either 3 or 6. Okay, that were gonna
Right.
pilot it,
Right.
just as an initial taste, and also to give people, to get feedback from people, for people to come up with more ideas, and things like that. That was the.
Yeah.
But I believe when it comes to its full form, this will be one heck of a thing. Once it
once it
But
takes
I
off.
have to say that we're still far away from the finished thing.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope when it gets to that stage, I will 100% be using it. 100% be using it. Now,
I concur.
Now, one more question I have to ask before we start wrapping this up, because it is unfortunately, I would like to go a lot later, but I do have work tomorrow, and knowing the schedule I have, it's probably going to be a busy day tomorrow, so I can't stay for too long. However, we have to end it on the time trials, because everybody's seeing the latest time trial posting, the time posts. How do you like the current times being posted, especially the top two that seem to finally pull the impossible?
They're squeezing it. Yeah, I love it. First of all, you remember from the first day you came up with this competition.
Yeah,
you remember I like this competition so much, man. It's like a great idea.
I remember we were talking about it so much, and we were both discussing like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the human limit. Well, what did we say? 25 seconds was gonna be the absolute human limit. We didn't think anyone was gonna get lower than that. And then not only Xylo and Kevla, Striker.
Out of nowhere, right? Yeah, there you go. Out of nowhere, Striker came in.
Yeah, with 23.8 seconds.
Yeah, man. Look, you remember how there was the initial wave was to break the under a minute, and now if you look at the times, it's like almost everyone is under a minute now. It's like what's going on?
Yeah, we only got 3 that are still over a minute, but they're still under the 2-minute 30-second rule. They'll still be getting a medal regardless. So far, everybody who's participated in season 3 is going away with something, some form of shiny. I did want to point this out simply because when Striker finally did his attempt, well, 2 things. He first kept saying, "Oh, I just started back on Squadrons. I don't think I'm gonna get a good time at all." 23.8 seconds was his third attempt, the third attempt of the day. So it's like, at this point, I'm not believing anybody who says, "Oh, I'm just not good at the game. It's just gonna take too much time." Because that's the same thing Turtle said when he posted his time. He goes, "I need to rebind my entire flight stick. I haven't touched Squadrons in ages." And then his first attempt got him in 4th place with 28.95 seconds. At this point, anybody that says, "Oh, I'm just not good enough. I don't think I'll ever get to the top spot." Xylo also said that. Yeah, no, I'm not believing you. I'm straight up not believing you. I know you can do it. But it's just, Striker made me laugh when he finally got his 3rd place. Almost made me drop out of my seat when the moment I told him his time, all he kept chanting, and the reason why I'm saying this, because I know you're gonna get a challenge out of this. "I'm in front of Genie. I'm in front of Genie." I'm like, when Genie hears about this during the podcast, I'm pretty sure he's gonna want another time trial attempt and beat Striker.
So challenge accepted.
Yes, I was gonna say, at this point, Genie will be coming after you, Striker, and then he'll be coming after Kevla, and then Xylo. But
I can tell that they're pushing the limit, though, Legion, right? They're really pushing the limit there.
Yeah, it's starting to finally get down to the millisecond at this point. It's like, yeah, they were both Xylo and Kevla and Striker for a good bit were only at 23 seconds, and they weren't getting any lower, other than just by the millisecond. And I remember at one point Xylo and Kevla were 0.01 milliseconds away from each other. Kevla was ahead at the time, and it was getting down to like they're neck and neck is an understatement in this competition at this point. It's molecule by molecule at this point. Who's gonna take the top spot, because every millisecond is gonna count. And with those two, and I'm waiting, because it's like we still have what, 2.5 months left of this competition. I dread the very last week of this competition, where I'm gonna get over 100 messages wanting to post times, and then out of nowhere, someone's gonna get 18 seconds, 17 seconds, the impossible 15 seconds that everybody's is saying, because that is literally impossible with how the game is set up. But
I mean, okay. We've put limits a few times before, and they've been broken.
Yeah.
But I think I do not see it getting any lower than 19 to 20 seconds. I mean, it's because of the 15-second impossibility,
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like the game will only allow as low as a 5-second respawn. So 15 seconds already. Actually, no, excuse me. 10 seconds already is already. Is already removed, because you have to destroy my ship 3 times, and obviously the first one doesn't really. There is no third respawn, because we both respawn at the exact same time, and that's when the timer starts. So
that's a good point, actually.
Yeah. So 10 seconds already is cut, as impossible to get, because it takes that long for me to respawn the next 2 times. With an additional 5 to 7 seconds is where the general consensus is coming, just to find me, because the next problem is not just the respawn time, it's respawn location.
Correct.
Yeah, sometimes so a lot of them are getting to the point where they're memorizing where I will pop up in terms of where I will respawn, but that doesn't work if you actually get in what I call the respawn zone, the respawn bubble. It's an invisible bubble; nobody can see it except for those who are programmers. They know that it's there. If an enemy ship is within that zone, the game will say that area is unsafe. Let's move it. Let's move the person respawning to another random location. That will throw off their strategy in and of itself. That'll take way too much time then to find. So it's like you have to take into account finding where I am and then getting to where I am. Because sometimes, you may know where I'm spawned, but it's still a long way away. You have to fly there for the lasers to even get to me. So
exactly. The getting there is also quite a bit of a challenge.
So so 15 to 17 seconds seem to be like the impossible range. 18 seconds is the Xylo says it's possible. I don't think so. You say it's 19 seconds. That seems to track where like the actual like ceiling, the record ceiling is. I also want to say 19 seconds is like the absolute amount that you can get physically in this competition, with how the rules are written and how the game mechanics are. But I just want to I was just going to say, do you think you'll be able to get to Xylo's time of 22.59 seconds?
Well, I'm gonna try.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely I look at those times, and I know even from the 29 seconds there was still some optimization there, but to shave off, it's easier to shave 5 seconds when you are from 40 to 35.
Mm-hmm.
It's much harder to go from 30 to 25, if you know what I mean, right? Or from 25 to 20.
Yeah.
I will see people. We'll end up with 10 people being in like 20.01, 20.03, 20.07. It's like the jigsaw puzzle, if you know.
Ranger's jigsaw puzzle. Yeah.
yeah, when Tegera and Leo and myself were trying to race for it, and we reached the point of literally, it's like seconds on a. We were, I don't remember now the times, but it was something crazy.
Yeah,
So,
it got down to the milliseconds.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's how fast people get, with the pieces, and just.
I really want to get to that puzzle competition. I just didn't have the time. I'm hopefully have the time this weekend to do it, and who knows, maybe I'll get in on this. Who
You,
knows?
you should, man. It's a fun comedy. Do it like 3 or 4 times. The first time is just to know where the pieces are going a little bit. Just to get
Yeah,
accustomed to it. But if you
yeah.
do it like 3 or 4 times, you will chop down your initial time probably down to half of what it was. The first try, it's
Hmm.
going to be long, but then the 3 or 4 tries later, you're going to chop it down to half of what that is. It's a nice way to, if you for me, I enjoy the competition aspect of it.
Hmm.
It's,
Hmm.
it's fun.
All right. Well, that is unfortunately all the time I really have. I got a few other things to do, plus another announcement stream I gotta do right after this. But before we go, as I've been doing with all the other commanders, I now leave it to you to nominate the next commander to be interviewed, and this time it's got to come from the warrior, because that's where the cycle is currently leading. Uh, it cannot be Sky Shadow, as I already got him on the previous one. So who would you recommend or nominate?
Okay, so I would say Frozen.
Frozen. Okay, we're finally gonna get Frozen because I think. Oh yeah, I'm saying yeah. Taigeta was also in on this. So Taigeta actually. No, Graf wanted to get Frozen, but he couldn't. So yeah. All right. So we'll go ahead and get Frozen on the next episode.
You also have a dark horse there, Aardvark, and even what's his name, Pete Mitchell. Also, like Pete Mitchell is one of the oldies.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get round to Pete Mitchell, also that will be interesting. It's like
Yep.
one of the real oldies of the age.
Yep. Commander of Theta, correct?
I think so.
Theta. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Theta, yeah.
Like I said, we'll get to every squadron commander, at least those that we can. Um, but yeah, all right. So you heard it right here, folks. And if Frozen, if you're listening, get ready. That's all I'll say. But Genie, thank you so much for being part of this. This has been great. I've been actually looking forward to this a lot.
Yeah, Legion. Actually, can I spare 2 minutes just
Sure
to
thing.
add something?
Sure thing.
So,
Yeah.
first of all, it's amazing that you started this, man. The Airlock podcast, and it's quite well done as well. It's quite well polished. Um, Excellent graphics from Newt. Not first of all, I'm loving my own, the one that you made for me, but
Yeah.
also the ones that you made for everyone. And I just know from mine that when I explain bam bam bam, it's like wow,
And
it's
she
like
get
what I
it
had
done.
in
Yeah.
mind. It's like how does she do that? It's like exactly what I had in mind.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's how I had when I first saw my first one with the coat. I'm like, wow, that this is more than what I was expecting. So yeah, she's absolutely amazing.
yeah, man, it's like very good work. And but the last thing I wanted, well, first of all, really great that you're doing this kind of initiatives. It's like I know it takes time. These things. That's why I want to make sure that your efforts are appreciated. Let's put it that way.
Well, thank you. Yes, thank you.
And I also wanted to add that I think EH is full of great people. Let me put it that way. There's
Oh
so
yeah,
many colorful characters and very fun place to be in. Okay, let me make it that as a generic statement. Let's say it's really good.
yeah,
So many people around, and it goes beyond just the playing of the games. The games are the basis, but then we expand into all kinds of other fun stuff. So
yeah,
we were
definitely.
having a discussion actually, even just before this podcast, whereby people were missing what we were doing during RTF. Not the gaming itself, but rather the get together that we were doing almost on a daily basis, for example.
Yeah, just having fun and just talking and
Yeah,
playing and all that.
and having fun and teasing each other and so on, those kind of things.
We'll slowly get back to that. I know RTF last year kind of burned everybody out, but we're getting back. We're getting everybody back eventually.
And that's the best part, that people eventually come around again.
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty, well, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm gonna deafen myself real quick on the call and start wrapping it up on my end. All right.
Okay, thank you, Legion. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Alrighty. And yep, that's gonna be it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I do have another announcement stream that I'm gonna be doing right after this. It's not EH official. It's something just personal for me. So if you're interested, be sure to just stand by, and I'll let you. I'll be back here in a second. Other than that, though, thank you guys so much for stopping on by. And yep, Frozen, you're next. So just be prepared. I will let you know what days I have off this week, but I'm gonna let you know. Not a lot. They got me scheduled pretty bad this week, so we may have to skip a week for the next podcast simply due to scheduling, but we'll see how our schedules play out. Maybe we can actually fit in another next week. If not, expect two next week or the week after. Also, for those of you wanting to know, what am I going to do with the Warrior Commander interview that never happened? Yes, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, it's actually, it's okay. Unfortunately, yes, Mordecai, High Admiral Mordecai Wolf, did resign from his position as Commodore. However, he's been wanting to get a better position, which he has. I'll get more details on that next time. So, I scared him off. I hope not. I really hope I didn't. But he accepted a better position that he was hoping to get in command staff. So where does that leave us with the last Commodore interview? The moment I find out whoever the Warrior Commodore is, and if you're listening, no, the moment I see that announcement, I will find you, and I will schedule that interview that instant. It may not be right then and there, but we will get the Warrior Commander interview the moment we find out who the next Warrior Commander is, or Commodore, excuse me. Whoever the next Warrior Commodore is, just be prepared to know that you're going to get a message from me. But either way, I've ranted enough. I have to go. Bit of a busy schedule this evening. Got to wrap things up. Thank you so much for stopping on by. My name is Captain LegionX of Thunder Squadron. Hopefully not a captain that much longer. And I will see you all next week, hopefully, or the week after for the next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.